Hello, hello, hello. Welcome. I'm Sandra.
Steve.
Welcome to our little chat today. We're excited to have you guys here. We're excited to have the cast of Mamma Mia with us. And let's just jump right into it.
Sounds good.
Let's start out. Oh, well, first of all, Mamma Mia is a production that we at HuntsEnt Entertainment did at the Henderson Pavilion last March. So it's just been a little over a year since we closed, and seeing as how there's no real theater going on right now, we thought it'd be a fun way to like keep things going and stay in touch and just have a little fun with our friends and our colleagues and see what's going on and look for the future. All right, so our first guest is the beautiful Stephanie Sanchez, who played Donna in our production. So let's welcome Stephanie. Hey, Steph, how are you doing?
I look so angry in that picture. I was such an actor.
Give a girl a drill.
Thanks to my director. Yeah. I was feeling it. Hi, guys. What's going on?
Just what do we say?
Living the dream.
Living the dream. I haven't seen you in a while. This is exciting.
I know. It's because you live way out in Pahrump.
I do. They used me as some weather something the other day. They called me. They're like, what happened? Oh, it was when the earthquake. And then it came across the screen and it said Stephanie Sanchez lives in Pahrump. I'm like, if there was ever any indication, my career was over. So if you want to know anything that's going on in Pahrump.
That thought crosses my mind frequently. So I'll have to.
Stephanie from Pahrump.
I do. I built things, and my girl's name is Donna.
I think I said you need that on a t-shirt. I need that on a t-shirt. Stephanie lives in Pahrump. It'd be a bestseller.
It was an exciting morning.
So how are you doing? What are you doing right now? You're still working a little bit, or?
I'm doing great. We're sort of secluded out here, isolated completely. I've been to Vegas one time in the past three and a half months because I started working from home when everything happened, and then because I work for MGM and I book entertainers, and then I got furloughed. So I'm technically furloughed, but I still work for the company. So I'm just sort of chilling, living my own dream out here with my mini pony and a goat, drilling.
Yeah, I saw you were making over an RV, a trailer.
A trailer. Yep, I live in Pahrump with a trailer. Yeah, I'm going to renovate it into like a little mini room. If I make it a studio, I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I had time.
I think you gotta find something to do right now. So that's awesome. That's really good. So, all right. So let's talk about Mamma Mia. Mama. Stephanie played the Mama, yes. Donna. And,
I remember I did it.
I remember I was thinking about, and I actually still have the video on my phone. I'm not going to share it, but I actually have video of you in your audition, which took place on, I believe, New Year's Eve or New Year's Day.
It was right before your birthday. Remember? It was around your birthday. It was on your birthday. Something around
my birthday?
No, I think it was like New Year's Eve. It was like New Year's Eve or New Year's Day. It was a holiday. And you came to my sister's house, and you didn't realize she's married to a coworker of yours, which was fun.
I knocked on the door. Yeah, because I was knocking. That was lit. Yeah, I remember. But there was a holiday, and I knock on the door, and I'm start talking, and I hear from upstairs, Stephanie.
That's my brother-in-law. My brother-in-law Dave works with you at New York. Well, we'll see if he gets to go back to work. He works at Humanity, and we don't know what the search shows are going to be doing. So, and
we're all supposed to go back.
Yes, obviously. So we were like, you came in, and I was a little nervous because I fangirled Stephanie back in like the early 2000s, late 90s when I worked at the MGM Grand theme park where she was Grandisphere and I was a ride attendant. And so, and
I
then
forgot you were.
You wouldn't have remembered. I was like the weird fangirl who would like hold the door for you or something. And then like, I don't know, like 15 years later, we got to do Smokey Joe's Cafe. And I remember walking into rehearsal and I was like, you're Stephanie and you were in Grandisphere. And I was like all excited and nervous and scared because I just loved you, all of you, and now I'm friends with almost all of you, which just makes me feel really cool. My 19-year-old self.
You were great. I mean, because that was the first, that Smokey Joe's was the first time I thought, okay, it's kind of a book. I mean, it's a book show, but it's not. I'm like, okay, I can do this. I'm a chick from the strip. I can wing this. Okay, fine. You hired me because I was on the strip. I wasn't the shimmy girl. You were the shimmy girl.
You should have been the shimmy girl because Mama don't know how to shimmy.
No, you did great. I was so excited. I'm like,
I just watched a video. It was not that great. Anyway,
but
but we have
a
like
serious actress.
yes, you are. But
they don't need me for dancing.
I know how crazy you are, and I know how like over the top you are. And so when we contacted you to audition, I was a little nervous how Steve would handle you.
Well, I didn't have very much experience with you. I had just seen you perform here and there, and I just knew that Stephanie had this very unique sound, and I was like, "Is that going to be right for musical theater?" But
I think so.
Then I got thinking about it. It's like, well, if anyone can have a unique sound, it's going to be Donna. So
we came in, and Sandra said, "Okay, Steve doesn't know you very well," and I think she was like nervous. I'm like, "What do you think I'm going to say? Rip off my top or something? I'll be fine."
I wouldn't put it past you.
No, it wasn't the part. I'm a serious actress. So he called and asked me, and all of my friends are you guys that are the theater people. And I was the strip person, on the strip.
Yes.
And I said, I was working a day gig. I'm like, this is the first time. If you think so, sure. So I went in not even knowing what to do. And then you're like, Steve doesn't know you very well. I'm like, okay. And then we did the first run, and I get back. I'm like, how'd it go? And Keith's like, Steve said it was a little rough.
I did not.
I don't know. I wasn't there.
I'm like, well, I'm what they got. You guys you're cutting. I will learn anything you want me to learn. I had a blast. I was
at the end of the day, that's what made it so much fun working with you and having you as Donna. Is you are extremely talented. On top of that, you're also like eager and willing to do anything, and you put everything into it, and that that we love seeing that. And it really paid off because your Donna was fierce. She was really and special. Like it wasn't like you really put your own twist on it, and I think that was really cool. You and Steve, I think there was all the jokes about the notes that happened.
I thought it was hilarious.
Well,
I don't think Steve thinks it's very funny stuff.
You're the lead role. You're going to get the most notes. You have the most stage time.
That means I have the most potential. If you give me
right.
hope,
if I give you hope,
you see something in me you're trying to pull out. I'm like, that's what it is.
Oh, that's awesome. So, all right. So tell us what was your favorite thing about
Oh, God. My favorite thing in the show was learning it. Was the process of learning it, because this technically, I would say, is my first book show I've ever done. I've done nothing but perform, and it's go out there, do it, entertain. You're going to sing this. And they're like, what's your range? I don't know. Whatever the note is, give it to me. I'll figure out a way to hit it, or whatever this performance is. So there was never such a process, start to finish, with something where it wasn't just Stephanie, be yourself and go. And entertain, make them, there was a process with the audience. So my connection with the audience, verbally, breaking whatever 12th wall, whatever you people call it, that was my norm.
And taught her nothing.
But it was my norm. And so to work with Steve and to get the notes, I loved them, because it was something so foreign to me not to sit down and talk to this person. Or, the whole reason I'm working was different. It comes from a different place. So the process of learning it and learning lines and working with people and bringing out emotions and just gave me a thirst for wanting more, because I love that process so much. And the costume.
Never in the history of the theater has there been an actress as obsessed with the costume as Stephanie Sanchez is obsessed with Disco Donna.
It is
So,
beautiful.
She still sent me like random texts, like, "Hey, can I come try her on? Like, what's she doing?
Take her out for a date." We did that corporate. Remember, we did the corporate, and we got Denim Donna, and I was like,
"Oh no." She was really heartbroken.
Which was good because Denim Donna was a little stretchier.
I'll feel you there.
I gotta say though, Stephanie, watching you take the notes and really think about them and absorb them and actually take them to heart, that was very refreshing for me, because a lot of times when you do this for so long and you have some people, some actors out there who think that they are a little bit better than some of the notes that you give them, because maybe they don't understand that, you know, you've got their best interest in mind. You're just trying to get them to understand what the audience is wanting to see or whatever. Sometimes the notes just get a little lost on some people, but I have to say your enthusiasm for wanting a note and taking a note and really thinking about it and applying it to your next performance, that was really refreshing, and I really enjoyed working with you.
I absolutely loved it. And I was blessed to work with friends, such super close friends, because Keith we're so close. Yeah. And other people would say, how is it, you know, taking notes? I'm like, I trust every single one of them. And I'm perfectly fine with saying, I don't know this. So if you want your show to look good, I will do whatever you tell me to do. And I just loved it. I could not wait to get to work. I could not wait to go. They're like, who wants to volunteer to paint? I'm like, I'll do it. I'm showing up.
That was also nice.
Oh, paint it anyway. There might be weird places with me and the Lola.
Well, she says hi, by the way. She misses you very much.
Oh, that girl.
Lola, our youngest daughter, and Stephanie had quite a special bond. Oh, I should have.
We bonded.
Those pictures. It was they had a good time together. Well, thank you, Steph. We're gonna talk to some other people. Hang out for a minute. We'll bring you all back and we'll have a little chit chat. But we had an awesome time working with you, and we can't wait to do it again. Hopefully, it'll be sooner than later. We'll see. All right.
Me too.
All right. Thanks. Okay. Thanks, Steph. All right. Next up, we have Monica Johns, who played Tanya. Oh, look
Tanya.
Ooh, Tanya on the screen. So let's bring Monica here. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl. Are they still auditioning for the Shimmy Girl? Because, you know.
Girl, you can have it. I was, because initially they cast me. They're like, well, we're just gonna have you do like some parts of it. I was like, great. And then they're like, no, you're doing the whole thing. I was like, I'm sorry, you want me to dance alone by myself on stage?
I remember the time that you came home and you said, they want me to shimmy. They want me to do the Shimmy Girl. And sheer panic. Her eyes were like.
I was like, no. All right. We're not here to talk about Sandra's shimmies. We're here to talk about you. How are you, Monica? How's it going?
I think you're supposed to say I'm doing great and fine. And it's fine and I'm great.
Feeling like it's okay to not be fine right now.
You can't be over it. You just have to get through it. So, I mean, my Netflix account and I are BFFs, and I've eaten everything within a 5-mile radius. So we're nice and healthy.
Did I see you at work the other day on Facebook? Are you guys open again?
Yeah. We're part of the phase 2. You know, we're just merging into going back to work, and that's good.
That is good. That's
so. Okay, I have to jump in on some of the talk with Stephanie. She was one of the best note receivers, and the one that stands out in my mind is Steve gave her a note saying, well, you know, you don't just have to stand there belting out you can face the person. And she goes, well, I just been taught to put how do I say this in a family-friendly way? My lady parts up and just give them out to the rest of the world. I'm like, yes, Stephanie, bringing that concert girl to the show. She was awesome.
Sometimes give it to the person standing next to you.
Oh,
that's funny.
She was the best. Ferocious note taker, so hardworking. It was a privilege to do a show next to someone like professional like her. She was so good.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah. So you've done quite a few shows with us, Monica. We discovered you when you came into audition for Beauty and the Beast almost 5 years ago now. And we were like, okay, well, there's our Babette. That was a no-brainer. And then you've gone on to do a bunch of other shows.
Yes. Babette was a dream. I know. And your casting me in that show changed the trajectory of what I was doing here in Las Vegas. I had done ballroom for 10 years prior to that, and it was fun, and I taught and I enjoyed it and performed and competed and choreographed, but having this new family, and I think you opened up that family to me, I got the bug. I got the, I want to do this. It's so much fun. Yes.
I got to tell you, only a few instances where somebody has come into an audition room and I have said, that's the person who's going to play that role. And you're one of them, because I think you are the epitome of what that is.
Wasn't oozing out of me because I felt like super desperate. I'm like, dang it, I'm going to do whatever I can because I want to.
We still watch your video. And sometimes when we're talking to people and we say, hey, look at this video, because you come in and you absolutely, you know the role that it is that you want to play. You come in, you nail it, you've prepared for it, you come in, you nail it, and you say, nobody else is going to play this role except for me.
I genuinely come with that in my brain. Yeah.
Not to cast me.
I dare you. I dare you.
Yeah.
So that was good. And then we got
good for you.
Thanks. Thank you. And so that would have been 5 years ago. And then we did Little Mermaid and roller skates and all. Steve just one day came to rehearsal and said, here, ladies, you're going to put these. And they weren't the skates. They were the front and back blade. I don't know.
They're like strap-on Heelys.
They were like a strap-on Heely.
Yeah. Crazy and fun. And actually, when we did a show next at the amphitheater, I was really disappointed that I didn't have the skates on, because all of a sudden it became this huge space that we had to actually walk around on because the skates weren't on. But a blast. And then Shrek, we got to do together. That was fun. I got to play a Wicked Witch with a delicious nose. It was so much fun. And then this one, close to my heart.
We'll definitely do some more shows, hopefully, like this, and we'll have you come back and talk about some of the other shows. But Mamma Mia was I think pretty much the same. You kind of came into the auditions and you were like, I want to play Tanya. I mean, we had a couple other people we were looking at, but it was what's great about you, Monica, is you're the whole package. You can bring the dance. I mean, you're clearly like a fierce dancer, but you have fun character and you go for it. You're like fearless.
Thank you.
And I have to say, like, in the years I've known you, I mean, I think when you came in for Beauty and the Beast, vocals weren't something you were super experienced with. I mean, you've obviously had sung before, but I've seen a huge improvement, and that's always really fun to watch.
That means a lot to me, especially to you, Sandra. That's
Oh, for sure. So
put your brain on it, start seeing it, recognizing it, improving where you can, and say, okay, maybe I thought I was only this potential, and then like, nope, just like the attitude Steve was talking about, and I'm like, maybe I'm going to keep trying.
Well, I think it's interesting to note as well, not many people know this, but you were also being strongly considered for Donna. And I feel like you nailed a large portion of that audition. It just wasn't fitting right with who we were going to be casting as.
No, I'm so okay with that.
So,
but even just hearing that, knowing that means, okay, I don't need to limit myself in what I think. Put all of your best out there, and maybe the director sees something different that you haven't even considered for yourself. So that's cool. Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, also, Rose or Tanya was a no-brainer. So
I don't know. We needed you to up your sex appeal. You're inhibited.
You like to hold back a lot. So
yeah, I'm shy in that department.
No.
I really like to cover up and.
Yeah, I have a few notes.
I was obsessed with that. She had some costumes too. Of course, all the
this one almost didn't make it.
Yeah, I mean, that looks all covered up. When it starts to move, it's all legs. And especially for I'm not saying middle-aged, but a woman in her 40s. I'll claim 40s.
Sure.
Yeah, and that's the age the character is anyway. But I'm like, okay, she's supposed to do this hot dance on a beach in what? Her bathing suit or whatever. I didn't know. And Steve, thank you for being considerate of a woman and making her feel sexy and secure. I felt very secure on the stage. Yeah.
Well, we have to empower you with the costumes, and if we don't do that, then we fail. We fail as designers. So
yeah,
I think we nailed it.
That one was a hit. Actually, I loved costuming this show because it was modern. I only had to I sewed 12 actual like full-on start to finish costumes, and then just a smattering of pieces. A skirt here, the piece that we just showed, I created that just because there were a few things we couldn't quite find that were what we needed.
You need to sell it on do masks and beach cover-ups, because
I know.
they would sell in a heartbeat. They're so flowy and amazing.
Oh my gosh.
Beach cover-ups with a coordinating mask.
That's it. Sexy.
That's a really good idea. I'm gonna think on that one.
I'll be your first sale. I'm not lying.
Yeah, it'll be a whole set. It'll be very chic. Awesome. Well, thanks, Monica, for being here. We're gonna go ahead and chat with some other people quick, and then we'll bring y'all back and we'll share some laughs and have a good time. So it was really fun working with you. And
go grab a sandwich.
Or a little bit of beverage. All right, we'll see you in a minute. Okay, this is fun. I like this. It's fun to see our friends. We've missed you all so much. It's been really like weird when you're used to being social, and I'm sure you all understand doing all these fun things together. So, all right. So next up we have Jennifer King, who we've known for ages. Jen's like from one of the people that we've known from like in the early 2000s of theater, and there's not a ton of us left. So
I think we met in 2000.
Probably. Oh, there she is.
Yeah, she was one of my theater wives in
Joseph, which was in 2000.
Was it Joseph? I think it was Joseph.
Mm-hmm.
I remember picking you up at some point.
All right, so this is Jen. She played Rosie. Oh, good. I remember that. I can never remember that character's name for some reason. So here she is. Hi, Jen. Welcome.
Hey. Yeah, I did like a cartwheel in between your legs. I think I did some kind of turn across your back, and I was like, wait a minute, this little guy is going to pick me up?
And I was so little, man. I was like 155 pounds wet.
You were definitely Stick Boy Steve then. Yes, that was 20 years ago. Wow.
For sure. We were all of that smaller back then, let's face it. Actually, I wasn't.
Yeah.
I was.
Yeah, you weren't at that time.
I was due with our first daughter, Chloe. I was due on the audition date for Joseph, but she was 8 days late. So she came 2 days before rehearsal started.
And you brought her to one of the rehearsals. She was newborn. I remember it clear as day.
So she went, and because Mama needed to get out of the house. Yeah. So that, and she just turned 20. So that's how long ago that was.
Yeah.
Good times.
Wow.
So, and I remember, like in the video of Joseph, there's like, I can see like your kids were like almost toddler. I mean, maybe just little. They're like in the video, like in the.
Oh yeah, Angelina was 2, and yeah, so Nathaniel was 5.
Yeah,
and now they're 25 and 22.
Changing little diapers.
Crazy.
So,
yeah.
No, so crazy. So, and then like for a long time we just kind of did opposite shows. For a while, but and then 2 years ago we reached out and we needed somebody for Peter Pan, and we were like,
oh,
Jen,
that was a funny story, because I had I'd had a 6-year hiatus from theater, and I remember Steve venting about something, and I was like, oh. and maybe somebody was decided not to play a role or something like that, and I was just kidding, but I wasn't at all. And I was like, whatever role it is, I'll play. And then like a couple days later, you reached out, and I was like, yes, absolutely. And I feel like that was all supposed to happen. You know, everything happens for a reason, I believe. And wow, yeah, that was a great experience. And I loved working with you in this different kind of capacity. Just opened my eyes to what, how it should be, you know?
Thank you. That's really cool.
Thanks.
we try to
But I
to
do
make it a good
remember.
experience.
Oh no, I do remember in Seussical the Musical, you costumed us bird girls, and I was like, and that was at my heaviest. I weighed like 250 pounds during that show, and I was like, I was trying to get the director to let me costume myself, and you looked at me, you're like, you need to trust me, and I was like, Okay. And wow, you made me look spectacular. So.
And that's funny because I look at those costumes and I'm kind of like, okay, that was a while ago, but that's.
We've learned a few things.
But I actually appreciate that because that's something I always really do try to do as a costumer is because, I mean, I can also look at it from an actor's point of view as well. I started acting first. And it's just, to me, it's really important that people feel comfortable, that they know that we're not going to put them in something that isn't flattering. So I actually appreciate you saying that. And that was a hard show because I auditioned for I literally went to 4 or 5 callbacks for a role in that show. And I never got it. And then I costumed the character.
I played that role in rehearsals before it was finally cast. And I was like, yeah, they'll never cast me as that part. But along that same line in Mamma Mia, when you were costuming me, I know I had brought in a few things and you're like, well, that's a little too cute for Rosie. So I knew I needed to let you achieve a certain look with Rosie that is not me, which I guess that's acting, right?
Yeah. Well, especially with that wig.
Raquel, can we just have a moment of silence for Raquel? Yeah.
She lives on in our wig collection.
Yeah, you're definitely in person. You're definitely a more trendy, cutesy type, and unfortunately, Rosie just isn't. But again, thank you for trusting and letting us go down that road. And it ended up, I thought you looked great, and it was a really fun role to see you in. And
loved it.
Yeah, it just seemed like you 3 girls got along well and had a really good bond. And
that was instantaneous. Yeah. Yeah.
Actually, let's go ahead and have them back. Let's have our Dynamos here.
Yay!
I don't remember our handshake at all.
No, she knows it. She knows it.
Yeah, I remember our first company meeting, the 3 of us, and it was like, yep, this is it.
Yeah, we were looking at all the other 20 something, if not teen somethings in the room. We're like, girls, ladies, we're going to be all fine. We need one another if we're going to survive this at all.
It was very apparent who the Dynamos were, huh?
Right. Yes, absolutely.
Because Monica said we're going to be mature. And I said, I have to be what?
Mature.
Oh, yeah. All right. I can do that.
Nobody told me about that.
Sure.
Yeah. And then Steph started this amazing, to get fit into that costume. She was determined. She was posting her gym stuff every day. An inspiration. Absolutely.
I never lost weight in my life.
I had to take in the costume a couple of times. Speaking of the costume, I thought we might want to have a little reunion here.
A little music, a little drum roll.
This. Oh, she weighs so much. This is Disco Donna.
Disco Donna.
She misses me so
There
much.
she is.
There's her belt. Her very, very fancy belt.
She cries at night, so we have to sing her.
The World Federation Wrestling belt. Yeah.
Literally, we need
Look
to
at
weigh
that
her.
shimmer.
Like, we added all that weight you lost. We added it back on when you put Disco Donna on. You guys,
that was a heavy costume.
There are so many layers of ruffles on the sleeves. I mean, they just weigh a ton. And each ruffle, like these ones, the sparkly ruffles are double layered. So you have the sparkle layer, and then you have the lining.
She's crying.
Well, it's funny because I would come in and check on the progress of the costumes, and she'd be sewing ruffles. Like, you're still sewing ruffles? She's like, I will be sewing ruffles for the rest of my life.
ABBA.
Wait a minute.
There's nothing subtle about ABBA.
No, what son?
Didn't you design it though, Steve?
I did. Every single ruffle.
Yeah.
She would fit me in that.
Oh my God.
I've never tried her on. I gotta be
I say this with no ego, just because I've had the experience. I can tell you I have worn several. Bob Mackey, I have had several people design me costumes. I have never worn a costume, first of all, that was as beautiful, first and foremost. Second of all, that loved me so much, and she misses me. But to do I'm a long body person. I lost weight. I lost a good amount of weight. I put it back, so I can say that. And it's a pantsuit, and it fit the first time I put it on.
Yep.
It was like whoop, meant to be.
So all of you ladies got lovely
Custom
suits
so
here.
beautiful.
Here you are. This is the promo photo.
Oh, there's Raquel.
And the mics had glitter on them. The mics were Swarovski crystalled out.
Yes, that was our amazing props designer, Angie. She's actually going to join us on Thursday. On Thursday, we're going to have some more of the cast, some of the younger cast members, the less mature ones, are going to come on. We have Sophie and
my baby,
her girls, and we're going to also have Angie, who's our prop maker, so she can talk a little bit about the incredible props she made.
Props.
For
all
the
the
show.
drinks had multicolored and umbrellas.
The drinks. We were all
She's an
obsessed
artist.
with the
She's
drinks.
amazing. I mean, I thought I was pretty good at making some props, and she came in and started working on stuff, and I was like, oh gosh, I'm embarrassed, Stephen.
You know what else? She was calm as she could be.
She was. She's calm.
I mean, everybody was this, that, the other. Somebody broke something, this. She's like, all right. Magic. It was done.
Yeah.
I'm like, where can I find? Nobody's like, boop, here it is.
Boop, here it is.
There it is.
Stephanie, I have to say, in the rehearsal room, you were the calming one. I'd freak out about, I don't remember this step, or I'm stressed out about this. You're like, girl, we're going to be fine. It's going to be okay. Get out of your head.
It was ignorance. I had no idea what was going on.
So I shouldn't have listened to a thing you said?
No. But everybody stopped. I'm like, what's everybody upset about? We'll be fine.
We'll be fine.
We'll
make it up.
I swear to you, I thought, oh, I got the bullet points. We're going to be fine. And then I got that note from Jeanette. This is no joke. I got that note several times. You're paraphrasing. All right. Stephanie, you're still paraphrasing. I'm like, all right. You're still paraphrasing. No shit. All right. Stephanie. Oh, you were serious about that?
Oh.
I'm like, every word? She's like, every word. I'm like, or? She's like,
the thus and the A's?
Was magical. I didn't know. I'm like, get them out, get them drinking. I'm like, I got it. I'll entertain them, you guys. Relax. It'll be fine. Oh.
That's amazing.
Sorry about that. Oh, I'm going to read it.
Rehearsals were never short of entertainment.
For sure.
I felt so stupid. I'm like, oh, sorry, guys.
Well, it's easy to see just here, like how well you guys got along, and that, you know, it always helps. I mean, we're actors and we do what we need to do on stage, but like it really helps when you get along just as well off stage. All right, girls, will you stick around for a little bit more? We got some dads we want to say hey to.
The mans.
All right,
bring in the mans.
We're gonna bring in some men's here. First of all, we're gonna bring in our Sam right here. So look, I like how we do that, so we can like frame them like jazz hands. This is Randall Patterson. Welcome. Hi, Randall.
Hey guys, it's great seeing you.
How are you doing? It's good to see you too.
Thank you. Yeah, I'm doing well.
How are you holding up?
You know, how have I ever had time to work because there's so many home projects to finish? You know?
Right.
No, right.
It's kind of one of those things, but yeah, holding up okay. Can't get through the unemployment thing yet, for the 1099.
Who can?
Who can? Yeah, nobody can.
Yeah, it's crazy.
One person. But
yeah.
Yeah, other than that, I enjoyed most of the free time, but it's gotten kind of old. I was doing a contract in Mesa, Arizona at a theater, and we were doing 8 different variety shows, and or 8 different shows each night, 6 nights a week. And then this happened, and they closed the theater a month early, and ended the contract a month early. And so that was March 16th. So here I am, back home, doing projects.
I swear, by the time this thing is all over, our houses should be immaculate.
Yeah, right. Except my back's killing me.
They should be.
Yeah. So, and then I've been doing a lot of oil painting and trying to finish a lot of those up. Like that showcase.
Steve has been painting nonstop, so we
nice.
Do what we can do.
Gotcha.
Do more Disney stuff.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Randall's he's a great artist.
I know.
Have you
I've
ever
seen
his
some of his stuff.
Yeah, he's great.
Ass. Randall, you and Steve have worked together for many years doing the Oh What a Night shoe
That's right.
out on the cruise ships.
Oh What a Night, a tribute to Frankie Valli.
Oh, sorry, I won't say it right.
That's right.
Which was such
that
was such a
always
great gig.
So much fun.
When did you
That
start
was a
doing
great
that?
gig.
When did you start doing it?
I left Jubilee in late 2011. In December 2011, I joined the Pearl.
Okay.
That was my first contract for them. And then, so I think the last show I did for them was 4 years ago. I think 3 or 4 years ago.
That's why we have actually cruised together, Randall, as you were on with Steve at one point when I came out to do a cruise with him.
That's right. And it was always so nice because you know how we switch the casts out and you can be here for how long? Okay, well you'll be here for 3 weeks and then another replacement comes in, or you're there for 2 months or whatever, And so it was always nice when we could do a contract with Steve. It was always fun.
Even though he was a hermit in his room the whole time.
Yeah,
he was. Man,
I'm not very social.
Pry him out of it. He was,
every now and then I'd come out.
He'd been busy. I came across a picture of us about 3 weeks ago. I was going through a bunch of photos and stuff, and on my computer. We were in Jamaica at that resort.
Oh yeah.
We had to fly into Jamaica and
that was the best resort.
We were wishing that the ship would have been delayed for a day.
It was all inclusive, even to us. It was awesome.
A picture on the balcony in the entryway of the lobby, the beach and the ocean behind us.
Yeah. And I never made it there because when we were supposed to go to Jamaica, we had Hurricane Sandy hit. I was on the cruise ship with Steve, and so we got rerouted and went to the Mexican Riviera instead. So I missed out on all of that. And man, coming into port on the tail end of that hurricane, he would make fun of me because I get seasick. And I was like, this is bad, right? He's like, this is the worst I've ever felt. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So we reached out to you about Mamma Mia, said, hey,
we couldn't find any guys.
It's always our challenge.
That's me when nobody else can do it.
Yeah. At last resort, we thought, I guess there's Randall.
I guess he'll work.
Yeah,
so
I guess.
But it worked out great. We had a really fun time working with you. It was nice to just do something.
It was such a fun experience, and it was really nice working with Steve in a different capacity. And that was just, bar none, you guys do such a professional job and such a great professional job at what you do in the productions and directing, costuming, and everything. Just really top notch. And
thank you.
It was really a pleasure to be able to work with you guys.
Well, thank you.
Mutual.
You can pay me later.
Mostly. Yeah. Mostly. That's likely to happen.
Although I do like it when I do the O and I gigs because I just go and I'm a performer. I don't have to worry about anything except for myself.
It's nice to kind of.
It's a lot less stressful.
There's always trade-offs.
You don't have to think about it. Yeah. Do you still go out and do it?
I don't. I haven't done it for maybe 3 years. Yeah. I tore my meniscus, and so that's what slowed me down. And so
that's right.
I haven't been able to. Yeah, haven't been able to go out and do anything.
I don't mind. He's gone a lot.
It was nice while it lasted, and but we've got a lot more going on now. I used to. I mean, I enjoyed doing the show, and I enjoyed working for Oda Night and Paul and Michael. And it was a nice getaway every now and then to kind of just escape and just go do something and still making a living, and that was nice. But we're doing a lot more now, and so
we were till March 12th.
Not now. when I say now, I don't mean now.
Not this moment.
Yeah.
But the last 3 years, you know, we had,
Right.
we had been doing a lot more work in other areas that we didn't really have to rely on that income.
It's been really nice. So.
Although I miss it every now and then.
Yeah, that's nice. And plus, it makes a difference too. When you're married, when you have that significant other, it's hard doing the long distance and being away for so long.
And kids, yeah.
Well,
missed a lot.
Maybe it was hard for Sandra, maybe not so much for Steve. Like escape.
No, he did miss out on a lot of things, and that was hard. And I mean, and I'm tough. I was fine. I'm tough, but it's nice that he's been home, especially now that we have children leaving the nest. So we had a couple years, you know, where he was around a little more. So awesome. Well, Randall, this is great. I'm gonna get to Michael because he's been waiting patiently, and he's. So we'll bring you back in a minute, and we'll have a little everybody on the screen. And awesome. All right, let's see. Oh, you're down here. Okay. There we go. All right. So last but not least for today, we have Michael Brown, who played Harry in the show. Yes. So let's welcome Michael. Hey, Michael.
Hello, you beautiful people.
Oh, it's so nice to see you.
It is so wonderful to see you guys and the rest of the cast. I cannot believe it. Just unbelievable.
I think out of the whole cast, we've known Michael Brown. I mean, I think I've known who Stephanie was the longest, but we've actually known Michael Brown the longest. Michael Brown is the reason the Huntsmans are the Huntsmans.
The reason that the Huntsman family even exists.
If anybody's unaware.
A long time ago, way back in the days of Fiddler on the Roof.
Yeah.
I don't want to say what year it was, but in a year that's not in the 2000s, Michael Brown and I were cast opposite each other in Fiddler on the Roof. And we can't seem to remember why, but Michael Brown needed, I don't know why I call you Michael Brown. It's like a celebrity thing, I guess.
I know, everybody does.
He left the show, and they had Steve take his place, which, no offense, I was pretty excited about. Because I already
we never had our first kiss on stage, so that might have made
I don't think we even had a rehearsal together. I think that's how fast it happened. We didn't even rehearse, so... Who knows what would have happened if you hadn't, flown the coop. But I'm sure you had a good reason. And
I think you would have had a fling with the rabbi's son.
Probably.
Yeah, probably.
Just, I mean, it was a rabbi's son or the poor beggar protester guy. So whatever.
Believe it or not. Absolutely.
Yes. So, dare I ask how you're doing?
I am doing beautiful, as you can see. Sorry I look so bad. I moved to San Diego about 8 months ago. After I did Annie out at the ranch, I immediately left. I transferred with my company to San Diego, and it was a great opportunity. So I've been here 8 months, and everybody's very outside. They love to exercise all the time, and I was doing that in Las Vegas as well. But I'm outside every day, several hours, and I've been running more, and I was preparing for the half marathon. And last week, I decided to fall on the street. And I guess God wanted me to break a few things. So I just looked at the shoulder and broke a few bones, a little elbow action, a little left foot, a knee. I was in the hospital for 3 days. So I've been at home now for the last couple of days, and I've got some good coworkers that have been coming in and taking care of me.
I remember I saw your post on Facebook looking for the couple, and I'm reading, I'm going, and I literally gasped out loud. I was like, oh, Michael fell!
He came and got me. He's like,
ran
did
upstairs.
You see Michael's post? I was like, yes, I just saw. We were both like, oh my gosh.
I'm like, he was left in the street to die.
Well, the funny thing is, I was right across the street from a nursing home, which, God, I hope I don't have to go into this. But I was across the street from a nursing home, and an ambulance was like 50 feet from me dropping somebody off. And I thought, well, maybe you'll pick me up. But they did not. They just told me where I could actually go to get help.
Oh my gosh.
I took an Uber home, and then actually an Uber to the hospital, and
oh my gosh.
There you have it. So the rest
we're glad you're okay.
Yeah, we're really glad we're glad you could join us. It wouldn't be the same without you.
This. I love seeing you guys. I miss you guys so much. The cast, oh my God, they were so wonderful to work with. It's just, I'm so glad I did that show. So glad.
It was such a like breath of relief kind of show for us as well. We've done so many shows that were so hard and had all the, I mean, you were there for Shrek. That was,
we still have Shrek flashbacks.
I literally have like Shrek PTSD. And so
Too many costume changes, let me tell you.
Too many costumes.
Too many costumes.
Too much fur.
It was
Oh
a
my
great show.
gosh.
It turned out wonderful. Like when I went back and watched the video, I was like, oh, this show is really good. I had so many like nightmare memories about it that I was like, oh, this show was good. But Mamma Mia was like, for us, it was just a little easier because the set was a little less involved. The costumes were less, we still, I think we did them to their full potential, but it just the show wasn't as demanding. So we were all a little more chill. The cast seemed to get along really well. There's a really good vibe. And it's a fun show. Like it's just, there's so much fun music.
I think all the mature people had a great time together. I know back in the dressing rooms, we had a good time back there, and the kids were on stage busting their rears. That was great. Yes,
the kids have to work really hard in the show. There's a lot of dancing and they were fantastic, and I'm excited to talk to them later in the week.
But before you move on to other things, I just want to say again, thank you very much for all the opportunities you gave me. And I know anybody that's ever done one of your shows, as Stephanie mentioned, the costumes have been unbelievable to wear. You really take care of us, and then Steve you're so generous with your time and the way you direct us, and you don't make us feel bad. And just so appreciative to be in your show. And I think anybody that has the opportunity to be in one of your shows, they should. And I wish you were in San Diego.
We miss you. We wish you were still there. We're excited for you to be in San Diego. Who doesn't want to live in San Diego? But yeah, we're on many levels really sad. Michael has encouraged us to go into the corporate world, which again up until March 12th was pretty great.
We all have issues with that right now.
It'll be back, but so I'm gonna bring Stephanie in because I do most of the planning.
Keith is watching. Hey, Keith.
Hi, Keith. Yes, Keith was our choreographer, and let me tell you, he worked his booty off for the show, and it was fantastic. And we're gonna catch up with Keith sometime for sure. But I as I was looking through photos and stuff, you guys were just
in love.
And you guys were just really, you had a very special bond on stage, and the way your characters are written especially worked really well. But you guys definitely had one of my favorite moments in the show, which is when you guys sing Our Last Summer together, and this picture catches it so perfectly. You guys were just, the last two nights of the show, I sat in the front row, which is like almost on stage, and I just like got warm fuzzies and goosebumps all at the same time watching this scene every night, because it got me.
It was one of my favorite scenes in musical numbers. So, a number like this that doesn't have a lot of choreography. It's just some honest moment staging. It was one of my favorite to create with you guys, because if you remember the process, I just said, so let's just feel this out and let's just see what dictates it and what this moment's going to be. And then we'll heighten it however we need to heighten it. And you guys just sort of like fell into this chemistry that just created some really beautiful moments, and also it created a nice, beautiful picture for that moment.
This
as
picture
well.
makes me cry.
Trust me, I was extremely scared when Stephanie was put into this role, and then I knew I was going to play Harry and have to sing with her. I was like, oh my gosh. First of all, I already idolized her from what she had done in the past, but I never performed with her. So to be able to share that one song with her was really special. So I'm really glad I had that opportunity.
I was definitely one of my favorites. The songs with Sophie were hard to get through personally because obviously I have a daughter, but that I just loved it so much. And then, the whole process was, because obviously my friendship was with Sandra, and they're like, watch out for Steve. He doesn't know you. I'm like, okay, well, I'm going to learn from you. So all my notes were coming from Steve, and I was so hyper focused on Steve. I'm like, what do you want from me? What can we do? What do we do? And Sandra was like in and out. And then I saw my costume, like, oh my God. But Sandra, and then one day I remember that specifically because Sandra came back and she looked at me, because we're, there's a personal relationship, and she's like, I sat so close for the first time, and I could see the expressions on your faces. And I thought, I think I did it right. She even said, she's like, I'm going to be distant. I've got stuff to do. So she was like to the grindstone, making all of this stuff happen. So that was like the first, because it was getting to time at that point. I'm like, remember my ands and ors. But to be able to hear that from Sandra, and then to just like that time on stage with you was not acting at all. It was just like a moment in the middle of the show, like if there's intermission, like, oh, we get to be on stage.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, oh, it's over. Okay, get back to work. So I loved it.
Steve always telling me, you've got to do 2 rotations, I think it was, when we were turning away. Never could get that right, and then get on the bed at the right time. I'm like, I'm sorry, Steve, I'm not doing it right.
I think that's a really fun point you brought up, Stephanie. There's definitely there's always that challenge, and like the director's like, I'm going to give you 400 notes, but don't be in your head, like, so you like have to internalize it and find that balance of thinking, but not overthinking. And so I'm like right here with you, girl, on that. It's really fun when your husband's a director, but that's another show. All right, let's get everybody. Invite me
to that one.
That's a private conversation. So.
Well, I'll call you.
Hey.
Now we can do Brady Bunch. Tis the story.
We should mention that David.
Yes, and we also had David McFarland. He played what's his Bill.
Bill.
I never remember the dad names. Bill, and he wasn't able to be here tonight, but he and Jen had like super fun moments on stage, and they went from pirates to lovers.
Classic love story.
Yeah,
That's
how most of my relationships go.
Oh, David's watching.
Hi, David.
David, hi.
David.
That's how. That's like. That's always like.
Love you, David.
That's always like a fun little. That's like a fun little thing for me. I like ironies a lot, so I'm always like, oh, remember how in the last show we were like, remember that one show when you were my uncle, and it's just like, I don't know.
True story.
Actually, that is true. I
played her uncle.
I'm a big nerd like that. I just love that kind of stuff. So we have Heather Guernsey is saying hello, and Ilona Robertson, whoever that is. Ilona was our production manager, our technical director. Sorry, I'm the production manager.
She's my buddy.
Michelle Malloy wants to buy a costume, but honey,
she wants to buy
can't afford that.
No,
I can't afford that. I will never make another one. You guys, on these costumes, this fabric, and I don't think I have a picture of the guys. Maybe I can find one really quick. All this sequins in the seams, like if you look back here on the zipper, I had to cut the sequins away to sew it. So I literally I should have grabbed it. I have a bucket of sequins. I saved about half of it, and
we could do Peter Pan again.
This full.
With all
I'm ready.
So anyway, thank you
guys
for
with Simony for a while, wasn't it?
Yes, for quite a while. Thank you guys for your comments and tuning in. This has been like super fun. We're not done. I'm just saying thank you. I'm gonna see if I had a picture.
Going back to the sequin thing,
have a couple.
Really quick though, she had me do it one time, where I had to cut all of the sequin away from the seams, and I got through maybe like a line that long, and I was like, I'm not doing this anymore.
Once again, you designed it.
I know, and I picked the fabric.
It was like,
so
I thought I had plenty of time to do the costumes, and you guys know, especially my men's, you guys know that on opening night, I was backstage like hustling to get your costumes finished because they were so hard.
Sorry.
Yeah, we're getting stuck with safety pins coming loose.
One of my favorite Dynamos moment is after the wedding, which was gorgeous, and that dress was beautiful. We had maybe 90 seconds to 2 minutes to get out of all that stuff with me and the ladies in the back going glitter flying, boots with platform heels that are bigger than your face. You're sweaty and trying to get back onto your cue. So that, if I have any memories, that the frantic choreographed chaos of I hope we make it on stage to sing it.
And who has the microphone? One of us always had the microphone.
Yeah, whoever got dressed first grabbed the mics, and and then finding our pitch before Super Trooper. Steph had a pitch pipe in the back, and so we like leaned to each other. I hope that's right. I don't know.
Wasn't in the back.
Super Trooper starts off our acapella.
Yeah.
Yeah, and and those doors, I couldn't get the doors right. I'm like, Steve is gonna kill me. I kept opening the door the wrong way. I'm like, brah. I'm like, I'm gonna screw it up. I always felt like the new one, and I would look for like little affirmations. And one time with my husband with Randall, we were sitting, and Steve worked on that scene with us over and over and over and over and over. And so we're singing together, and so we get on stage, and it's again, I'm like, I'm gonna do this, and I'm singing it, and I'm feeling it. I'm like, oh, dude, I'm gonna give you more, because Randall's crying. I'm gonna give more too. I'm gonna give more too. And we did this like 2 or 3 times. He's like, if you don't stop making me cry, I'm like, oh.
The script is written that you're always off stage when something wonderful is happening. So we got to watch Steph and Randall do The Winner Takes It All. And so we're like, oh, I'm emotional. But wait, I have to go on stage because Jen with David. Yeah.
And the placements of the lanterns. Oh my gosh. I was like, every night I was more worried about the placement of the lantern than the actual scene.
I think you had the most cardio dance of them all, Jen. You were all over those chairs.
Oh my gosh.
I don't know, Monica, you were all over most of the male cast.
I mean, I got to jump into the cheerleader move into the arms. That was fun.
Here's our gentlemen, some of our gentlemen in their costumes as well, so you can see. Oh, that's all of them. We just don't have Jen. Jen's over here.
God, I look like Mama Cass.
You're so hard on yourself.
Luckily, I've lost a few pounds since then, but I was so girdled into that thing. Plus,
it's not a big bad wolf, David.
No, it wasn't.
David.
Shout out to Renee Stewart's beautiful photography.
Yes, all of these photos are provided by Renee Stewart, who came in and photographed the show, and they are amazing. Trying to find the picture of the wedding so we can see all those.
It was all about those platforms. Can I just tell you? Twice off stage, I fell off the thing and twisted my ankle. Oh man!
And
the back hallway after the show.
Yes, the platform boots.
Man.
They were.
Yeah, the platform boots. Sorry. Yeah.
They were. Man. Oh yeah, here. This is a really fun one. Steve photoshopped this. So this was my favorite set. It was the wedding set. It was really I loved the set. So Steve tells me about the set all the time, and I zone out. I'm not gonna lie. And then I show up at rehearsal, and I'm like, this is the most beautiful thing I've ever seen in my life. But yeah,
so good.
I'm trying to get Liz Klein, our lighting designer. Just the lighting in the show was just.
It's phenomenal.
Like I usually get to see the finished product because I'm backstage sewing through opening night, and so like when I finally got to see it, I was like, oh my gosh, this show is like so beautiful, and
I think her lights. Yeah, I think her lights are some of the best lights I've ever seen in my shows. So.
Yeah,
and the time you'll ever see me white pants, that's her. You're gonna make me wear white pants.
No. I think didn't you have 2 pairs of white pants? Did you wear one in the opening too? Like I think.
Oh,
blue. Okay. That was Monica who wore white at the beginning.
The white.
I was afraid of costumes here in this spot. And again, I know Sandra well. And I thought, sure, I got the show. Great. I better read it. So I'm reading it. And they're like, Donna puts on a wedding dress. I call her. I'm like, Sandra, I can't put on a wedding dress again.
Never again.
Stephanie has a wedding anxiety.
I've done enough.
Yeah.
This was
anxiety about wedding. Singing and dancing while on a bed. Like that bed, we had to get on it. Keith is like, no problem. You can get up there, bounce around, do a couple laps on the bed, and then keep singing, and then do a whole refrain of the choreo. I'm tired just saying it.
I had so many bruises from jumping off of it. Oh.
No, I don't.
Injuries are the best. No, show injuries. There's nothing like them.
Yeah.
We had a lot of fun moving the set around. We created some really fun images, and just the way that the set, it was very minimalist. Actually, when you look at it, it's just a few pieces that kind of move around and create a bunch of different things. And
it was part of choreography.
It was it was just really effective. I don't want to get into my own horn, but it was really, really pretty to watch.
I got compliments on the set. People would come to me and say, that set was amazing. I'm like, I'm in the room. I'm like, that set was beautiful. And it was stunning. It was absolutely stunning.
Can I just tell you, my favorite moment in the whole about the whole process was when we were in rehearsals in the warehouse, and we were going to move the set pieces. And you got on one end, and Michael was on the other end. You said, "Okay, we need to move over here." So pushing, and the set's doing this, and you're like, "Wait a minute, we're having a problem."
It's like Tetris.
And okay, ready? Yeah, ready. Okay, and again, the set's doing this, and it's not really going anywhere. And then finally, the third time, it starts again, and I'm like, "Wait!" And both of you were pushing the set at the same time.
Pushing
it
at the
wasn't
same.
moving this way; it was just doing this. Oh man, it was funny.
I was like, it should move better than this.
Yeah.
Well,
great.
it takes me a minute to catch up, but back to Stephanie's wedding dress dilemma. I think I told you, don't sweat it. You're not actually wearing a wedding dress. And this is what we came up with. And it was actually one of my favorite.
Oh, and Donna would never just go and put on a wedding dress.
Yeah.
I disagreed with that as soon as I read it.
This was her mother of the bride dress, to be clear, but it was pretty epic. And you other two ladies, like, I loved this. Monica actually brought this dress in of her own closet. Yes, so you guys looked fabulous, but we like I said, we want everybody on our stage to look good and fit, and I mean that's super important to us. So of course we weren't gonna. Jessica, don't worry. Jessica Muggleston, don't worry. It'll replay. You can watch the whole thing. It'll come back on at the same link, and you can watch the whole thing.
All those costumes were beautiful and so easy to move in. They were just part of it.
And it was fun because we definitely had. Yeah, I was gonna say we definitely had a color theme that we wanted to stick with, and it was we were like, oh my gosh, I hope we can find all the fabrics and a lot of costumes that we actually just purchased off the racks. I was like, I hope we can find this palette to cover everything that we need. And it was the perfect time to do it because that color was everywhere.
The hot color of the season that year.
So it was really nice. And it's something that we've never done before. We've never really kept something in a completely almost monochromatic.
Money.
I don't know what's going to be next, but yeah, I just saw these.
I love that.
And if you guys want to see this photo album, it's on our website, which is just HuntsEnt.com, and go to gallery, and it's on the Flickr, and you can see. So HuntsEnt.com, and you can see any photos that you want to see. So of the show that we've been showing tonight. So, Randall's raising his hand.
Yes, Randall.
Not to change the subject, but speaking of weddings.
Yay! What? Congratulations! What? Congratulations!
November, congratulations.
That's awesome.
Yay!
Wow. Finally.
Finally, man.
Yeah, who would have thought?
Yeah, I decided to make a change in my life.
I know. Yeah, it didn't work out with Donna.
Do you want us all to wear blue?
Pahrumph's too far away.
Another one down the crapper.
Somebody in Kansas City.
She'd rather be in San Diego. Yeah.
Congratulations, Randall. That's awesome.
And Monica?
Thanks, guys.
Oh, I just have one more memory that I have to share. We'd never had a full house until opening night. And at the end of the show, with all the bling and the disco lights and the costumes, we finally got to Dancing Queen and Waterloo, and we had the whole audience up there singing with us. It's
up
the
on their
most
feet.
surreal, celebratory end of show I think I've ever done in my whole life. So
and
much.
I have never seen an audience jump to their feet so fast, and it was almost as soon as that music started for.
I'm chilled. I get chills just thinking about it. And the ladies in the front row, all the blue hairs, all of the people that paid for those front row, they were in it. They were in it.
Oh yeah,
loving their ABBA. Yeah.
And now Stephanie, you guys can all take a turn and share something like that. Stephanie,
I have a question about that because learning all of this and all my theater people, and I'll be joking around. They're like, "Don't talk in the theater." People don't talk in the theater. I can't stand it when people are singing in the theater. I'm like, oh, because I come from something. I'm like, I'm supposed to get them to talk. Don't get them to talk. And then we go for that. I'm like, ha ha! Everybody sings.
She's all my people.
My people are here.
She's like, wait, at the end of the show, I get to come out with the microphone and just sing to the audience. I got this.
I'm in.
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
What was the number where they had the tableau before intermission?
Um,
Voulez-vous?
Yes,
Voulez-vous.
Voulez-vous.
And so at one point I was up on the.
Oh, wait.
What's that?
It was Voulez-vous.
Was it Voulez-vous? Are you talking about
Yeah,
Voulez-vous or the
yes.
nightmare sequence?
No, Voulez-vous.
Okay, Voulez-vous.
No, and so
And I was up. I froze on the upper box or a downstage box, and where I was looking, it was out at towards the audience, and I see way in the back, past in that little walkway back there, way in the back, I see a couple of drunk women standing back there, and they're just like doing all the choreography to the song, just out of their minds, and I had to freeze like that, and I'm watching that.
that happened almost every night. There's
ABBA music does to people.
They're ABBA fans for sure.
Well, to your, this is a compliment to you. I am so incredibly blessed to have fallen into this, because it didn't even occur to me. And I got a call, can you audition? I'm like, sure. So it would be the perfect one, because I don't have to have this legit voice. And then people were dancing, and and you guys were, this is my first one, and you guys were so professional, and I'd only done professional shows. So it just felt like a glove fitting into it. And so many people were telling me, you don't know how lucky you are. You don't know how lucky you are to do a Huntsman production for your first show. Because I have been waiting to do a Huntsman production, and I felt like a heel, but I'm like, I'm telling you, I was like in Disneyland. Because I thought, this is the most, I learned so much. That scene with Randall and I on the bed, it was just, not knowing and kind of ignorantly falling into stuff, and then being able to be guided in what it is supposed to be and what it's not supposed to be, and being able to make friends even with the kids, and to let out still converse. I mean, I feel so blessed, and lucky. I am so blessed and lucky to have fallen into that role at that time with you guys, because immediately the three of us were best friends. Immediately, I could have loved every one of them.
Yeah, you could have had a baby with any of them.
You picked
the three of us, you're talking about you, Steve, and I, right?
Nobody told me about that.
I like to really get into my work.
Steve, bless his heart, had the patience of Joe, because in that bedroom scene, you and I, he kept having to say, "No, guys, it's you go down there and you go down there," and it got to a point where I was like, I can't remember which version this is, and because I had to keep refocusing it because of the lighting and everything else, it was funny.
So
Sandra has quite the picture.
Ilona, our technical director, sent us this photo.
Stephanie.
Oh, I'm scared.
This is Steve giving Stephanie notes one night.
Yes.
Yep.
This is when we hit a wall, didn't we?
We did. We hit a wall that night, and I was like, you just have that in this side of my head. I'm like, I don't think I'm gonna make it. I don't think I'm gonna be what you're gonna be. I'm trying, but it's not. And so that was pivotal and important in my life. But yeah, that was the bedroom scene.
That was mine and Stephanie's bedroom scene. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we got a lot of good work done on that bed, don't you think?
We did.
Well, it was worn out by the end of the production.
I think it was because of the three girls wore it out more than you guys.
We did. We stepped out. We wrote it in and out as a scene transition. Yeah.
I literally can't say anything. I've kissed way more men on stage than in real life. So
Atta girl.
I can't. Yeah. And twice directed by my husband. He's like, okay, now you guys are gonna kiss for like 30 seconds, and we're like, oh, okay, great.
He can direct those bedroom scenes.
He's good at directing them. Anyway, you guys, thank you so much for joining us. This was a lot of fun. It was nice to see your faces. Thank you for everybody who joined us. Thank you, Richard Nixon, for being there opening night. What a treat.
Oh my God.
Nice.
Richard, I love you.
I will be putting up the links and everything. We're gonna do this again on Thursday at 7 with some more of the cast members. We just wanted to start with a few to see how this all works and make sure it works. So we're gonna invite a few more people and discuss a little bit more. And we, a lot of people keep asking us, and I just, want to put it out there, like, when do you think you'll be back? And there's a couple things. Whether or not coronavirus happened, if it hadn't happened, we would have done Beauty and the Beast at the end of March, and then we would have probably been off for a while. We had another kind of plan for this fall. It's not happening, obviously, but we would normally just be back at the pavilion next year, but as you guys know, the Henderson Pavilion is being torn down and being replaced with a hockey arena, and we have no idea if there's going to be a future there for us at all or not. So it's okay. We're looking into some other things, and it would be nice for us to have, a space where we can do some things on our own. So we're going to see what happens. So as far as the virus is concerned, we all know how quickly a cold can rip through a cast. I just think it's going to be a while until what we do is okay again. Audience, but for me, it's more like we have to rehearse before you can have an audience, and we just aren't quite sure when that's going to be okay. So we're just in a wait and see and put it all the good energy into the universe. And I'm not gonna lie, I'm enjoying the break a little bit. We work really hard and we get exhausted, and it's nice to have a little creative break, but I'd rather not have a break, but I'm gonna look on the bright side as best that we can. And so we'll be back as soon as we can. It's who we are, it's what we do, and we love it. And a big part of the reason that we love doing it is the people that we get to meet and make friends with, and who become extended family, like all of you are. And so thank you from the bottom of our hearts for joining us tonight. This was really fun. We all should have a little Zoom chat later where we can tell the real good stories. No, I'm just kidding. But thank you. And I'm sure we'll see some of you back again. Some of you have been in several shows with us, and we're gonna, if people keep watching, we'll keep doing it. And even if they don't, we'll keep doing it.
We'll probably just keep doing it. What else we gotta do?
Say hi to everybody. Sure.
Yeah. So anyway.
But honestly, guys, you guys were my Mamma Mia dream come true. It happened in an unconventional way. We had to go out and look for some of you guys, but I think that was definitely what was supposed to happen. You guys were the group that we needed to have in that show, and I think the show was one of our best, and definitely it's because of you guys. So thank you, and we love you.
Thank you.
Appreciate you. With all of you in that cast, it was great.
Thanks. Well, everybody, take care of yourselves, and hope to.
I can only do half a heart.
Oh, finish it.
So imagine there's another heart there.
You remember this one, Michael?
Don't
do that.
Yeah, I won't be doing that for a while.
Right.
Thank you guys.
Thank you guys.
Love you guys.
Love you all.
Bye guys.
And,
thank you.
We'll see you guys on Thursday.
Okay.
Bye.
Bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Bye.
Bye.